What is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. I hope you guys are doing really well and have recovered slightly from the game against Aston Villa. I thought I'd come back and basically just do a bit of a reflection video, like I did against the Liverpool, or for the Liverpool game, where I just came back and done a bit of a rambly reflection because I feel that there's enough talking points for me to go over and just basically have a bit of a moan, because I'm not much of a moaner, but I think yesterday warrants a moan, and I'm sure you want to surround yourself in negative energy for the next 10 minutes and just flush out all Norwich City from your body just for a little bit. So Villa away, 2-0 defeat. Worst performance of the season? I mean, it's tough. We've definitely put in a decent few entries for the worst performance of the competition year, that's for sure. But Villa, certainly the most gutless, and that annoys me the most. I get so frustrated and annoyed with players when it doesn't look like they want to be there. Like, I completely understand that football's a business. I'm not going to get into all of this money crap because I don't think that's relevant at all. And people saying, oh, they're getting paid too much money, it's just a load of bullshit. They get paid a lot of money, yeah, cool. But what I do want to see them doing is just taking a bit of, just wearing the shirt and taking responsibility. I think that's the key word here, responsibility. There was too many players yesterday. We were like 4 rows back. We could hear everything that was going on. We could see everything that was going on. Too many people blaming each other in situations where people don't need to be blamed. Like, for example, Redmond comes on, plays a ball inside. Russell Martin has a go at Redmond. Redmond has a go at Gary O'Neill. O'Neill has a go at Mbakane. Like, what is all of this about? Just someone step up to the plate and do something for themselves instead of all of this moaning at each other. And it's just a vicious cycle of nothing happening because everybody thinks it's each other's fault. Yesterday, it was everybody's fault. No one on that pitch was half decent, except for maybe Johnny Howson, who I thought was okay. And that's about it. Like, everyone else was meh. No one was shocking. Everyone was just boringly average, and no one at all took the responsibility to grab that game and go, look, this is our game. We need to do something here. There was nobody out on that pitch who, if I was playing alongside, felt comfortable that they were going to carry us along, because you always need one of them players. And I'm not saying, oh, get Johnson back, because to be honest, I don't think he would have had much of an impact. Technically, we know he's not good enough for the Premier League, but we are missing a player like Bradley Johnson who at times can just fucking get into him. Just shout at your teammates, because no one was doing that yesterday. Yeah, Russ might have a little yap, but he's too nice to get into someone. Just scream at people, get people fired up, because it was like we were sleepwalking yesterday, and that's something I absolutely hate in football as well, is when you feel like you're just going along with the flow, not really taking much, not swimming against the tide, and just letting other clubs wash you aside. That has felt like the past 6 weeks of supporting Norwich City. It's just utter sleepwalking, and it's even coming into the fans now. Like, where I sit with Chris in the Barclay, I love it. Most people are really optimistic. They're a good bunch. But against Tottenham, I was like, what's your score prediction, mate? He's like, no, I'm not really expecting to win. Like, what? Are you for real? This is a Tottenham side who, yeah, they're well drilled under a good manager who's Pochettino, but they're nothing special. I mean, these are beatable. We're at home on a Tuesday night. They had a couple of injuries. What? You think it's okay to be beaten by Tottenham? Are you serious? Like, and I'm not blaming fans here, because to be honest, I kind of had the same viewpoint. But if that is going into the players' minds, then you rock up to Aston Villa and you're 5 defeats on the bounce, you've got no momentum whatsoever, you're obviously going to lose. It's as much of a game as it is up there than it is down with your feet. If you're not mentally prepared for that game, then you will have no chance whatsoever of getting anything. And to be honest, it hurts me to say, but Villa were more up for it yesterday. They were first to every second ball. They didn't knock it around any better. They didn't play better technically. Their team's no better than ours, but they wanted it more. They were quicker to every ball. Their team was more together. And that's what hurts the most. You know, I've been to some pretty tragic away games this year. Bournemouth, Newcastle, others that have been so dull I'm not even going to explain. And each time I come home and go, that was a really good day, The football was crap. Like, the football is spoiling my away days. It's just dreadful. Like, I went with a few mates yesterday who, a couple of them have only watched Norwich City a couple of times this season, and they were all saying the same things, like, these players don't look up for it. Villa are quicker to every second ball. Villa look the better side. I can't argue with that. Like, even with a Norwich City hat on, there's only so optimistic I can be. And it was the first time for for the whole season, I've looked at that team yesterday and going, we're going down. We're going down. And I know that's a very short-term look, but how can I possibly have an argument against that? With 6 games in a row on the defeat, we've got tough fixtures coming up. None of them players look like they want to take responsibility. The manager looks out of his depth, which is worrying to say. I'll get onto that in a minute. How can I possibly go to my friends and to other Norwich fans when I'm asked, are we staying up? How can I possibly say yes? And if I do say yes, what's my argument going to be? Because it's not going to be a valid one. It's going to be one through yellow tinted glasses. And unfortunately, I'm an optimist, but you can't be optimistic about this situation. You know, teams in and around us are starting to win. Sunderland, yes, they didn't win yesterday, but they were 2-0 down and they got 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Swansea drew. Newcastle won. Newcastle have a decent team. They invested wisely. If we go down this season, we have absolutely no one to blame except for ourselves. There's been 3 teams in this league consistently throughout the season who've performed to a below average state. If we go down and we are worse than them 3 teams, who I would say are Villa, Swansea, Sunderland, Newcastle even, if we go down below them, that's woeful. Truly and utterly woeful. And every single person at Norwich City Football Club needs to take responsibility. The players, the manager, the board for not recruiting properly in the summer. Yes, they made up for it in January, but it could be too late. We all knew it was a massive gamble. The staff, the scouting network, the owners, everyone needs to take responsibility. Ourselves, we need to look at ourselves and get out of this stupid sleepwalking motion that we're currently in. Because if we continue in the way we are, we're going down. And none of you have an argument to say, yeah, we're staying up on current form. Now, optimism. Alex Neil, I still believe in him. Long term, I think he's the best manager for this football club. I'm not going to lose faith for Alex Neil overnight. I think that's ridiculous. Alex Neil still knows what he's doing. But I can see where he's going wrong, and every Norwich City fan can. He's trying to overcomplicate things too much. He's putting too much research into the opposition. He's playing players out of position. Houlihan is not a left midfielder. Johnny Howson is not a right midfielder. We're wasting our best players in positions that they can't play. Every single manager that has managed Wes Houlihan has tried to put Wes Houlihan out on the left-hand side. Very rarely does that work. Very rarely. And the only reason we do that is because Houlihan's such a gifted player, but we don't want to drop Naismith. It's completely fair enough. But we need to start learning lessons and we need to stop chopping and changing this team. We have a decent team. And the only reason we're in this mindset is because we're 6 defeats on the bounce. None of us, if we've won 5 games, would be going, do these players want it? Do these players care enough? Of course they care for the football club. But on current form, we need players to take responsibility and just get 1 win. 1 win is all it takes to completely turn things around. That's all it takes, trust me here. So, all I want to see from Alex Neil is play players in the correct positions, go back to basics, try and retain some possession and keep it the same for 5 or 6 games and then reevaluate where we are. I think Jake Humphrey tweeted it. He put a team out. He said, give this team 5 or 6 games playing the same style of football in the same positions without chopping and changing if you don't have to, and see where we are then. Because at the moment, how can you possibly build up any team cohesion if you're playing next to different players every week? And it's because we keep underperforming, so we think we have to change it. I can completely see where Alex Neil is coming from here. But we know where it's going wrong, so let's just try and change that. We're in a tricky situation now, and we need to get wins. I'm going on holiday for 1 game, so we're guaranteed to win that. But as you can probably hear from my tone of voice and mannerisms, I'm really down about yesterday, and I'm really disappointed. You know what disappointed me most? about yesterday, I've kind of touched on it, but was at the end of the game, once again, Norwich City players too timid to come over to the fans. Just come over to the fans, guys. Like, seriously, it's not tough. Just come over, I don't know, shake a hand or something. They got a bit, like halfway. They could see a few people giving them deserved stick. Like, players aren't immune from stick. And they just backed off. They went back to their safety net of the changing rooms where the media could only ask them certain questions, and they're away from the fans. Come over to the fans. Be man enough. Try and explain yourselves. The only person who was that close to giving an apology was Robbie Brady, and he looked gutted, absolutely gutted. His head was down. He was like saying sorry. He was going like this. Come up to us. Explain. We're not going to attack you. We're all in the same ship here. But what we do want is answers. And all we want to know is that you guys want it enough. So if any Norwich City players are watching this, and it happens to come on your timeline, just please take note that Norwich City fans won't do anything abusive. No one will be starting to throw punches, but we would appreciate it massively if some players just came up to us at the end and just reassured us. I sound like a teenage girl. I'm getting all hormonal. Right, we're staying up. We'll stay up. It's all fine. We'll win the next game. Things will turn around, but I just wanted to get this out of my system. It's gone. Move on. Big games coming up. Big season coming up. We knew this was going to be a tough journey. It's proven to be a tough journey. How boring would it be if this league was easy and we stayed up with ease? We're just going to feel good when we stay up, people. Trust me. Leave me your comments or your thoughts, in the comment section below. Sorry for this ramble. I doubt many of you have watched this far, but if you have, a big thank you. And I appreciate listening to my woes and worries. A big thank you for watching. Hit subscribe for more Norwich City content, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.